Hakadosh Boker Or Masechet Sotah Daf 3781. We're talking about right now that who is the one that went down to the sea at the beginning? Who was the first one that went down to the sea? So it says over here, we know that Yehuda, what is it? Rabbi used to say, Kishandu Yisrael Aliyam, Shvatim Minatzchim, they were arguing with each other, right? And what were they arguing? One of them is saying, I'm going to go down first. The other one says, no, I'm going to go down. What happened? Kafatz Shivtot Shel Binyamin, they jumped down and they started going down to the sea. Shneimar, Sham Binyamin, Said Rodem. Al tikre Rodem, ela red yam. Rodem usually means to go to sleep, but it doesn't mean here to go to sleep. It's red yam, go down to the sea. Okay, so they were like stoning them. And therefore, that's why the Kodesh Kodashim is built on the portion of Binyamin, because they were the first ones to be Mekadesh and Shemaim to jump down to the sea. But it says in Pasuk, Yehuda was stoning Binyamin. Because it says in Pasuk, Uven ketefav shachen. But the Gemara says, no. Amalo Rabbi Yehuda comes and he argues on Rabbi Meir, and he says, Lo kacha yamase. That wasn't the story. Ela, but rather, Ze omer ena niyored. The opposite. They were saying, I'm not going down. Each one was saying, we're not going down. Kafatz Nachshon ben Aminadav, comes Nachshon ben Aminadav from Yehuda, he was a Nasiv, and he went down first. So it comes out, it's actually a machloket, Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Meir, meaning the one that we know is Rabbi Yehuda. If you ask any schoolboy, right, or any person, what do they, if they actually pay attention, right, if you're going to ask anybody, they're going to tell you, Nachshon ben Aminadav was the first one down. It's a machloket, Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yehuda. According to Rabbi Meir, Shevet Binyamin were the first ones that went down, not Shevet Yehuda, and that's why they got the Kodesh HaKodashim in their portion. However, though, according to the second Shita, nobody wanted to go down until Nachshon ben Aminadav jumped down, and he was the Nasi of Shevet Yehuda. Shneimar Sevavuni Michacha Shefram Mimah Bet Yisrael Yehuda Od Rad Im El. Ve'alam Mefresh BeKabbalah, and on him it's written in the Kabbalah, Hoshieni Elohim, save me, my God. Kivau Maim Nafesh, because the waters came until my neshama. Tavati bive mitzulah. I'm drowning, right, in the water. Ve'emamad. Bati b'mekam mayim shebol shavtani. Ati shebol mayim atavileni mitzulah. Ve'ota sha'a ya Moshe marich b'tfilah. So Moshe Rabbeinu was saying tfilah. Amar lo Kadosh Baruch Hu yididai tovim bayam. He says what? My beloved ones are drowning the sea. Ve'ata marich b'tfilah lefanai. And you're saying tfilah. Amar lefanav. He said, Ribono shel olam, ma biyadi? What am I supposed to do? Amar lo. He told him. Daber and he said, V'yisau. Stop. Go, travel. That's what he told him. Put your mate on the yam. Therefore, he was zocher to do what? Right? To come and to take the Memshalah from Israel. He comes and he says, right? Shneimar hayeta Yehuda lekodsho Israel mamshelotav. Ma hatam. What's the reasoning why Hayita Yehuda lekodsho? That it was the Yehuda was coming to be mitkadesh right in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He says, Yishamesh Elotav, Mishum dayam ra'a vayanos, which means Nachshon ben Aminadav and Shifto were the first ones to go down. And therefore they brought it, the Kiddush Shem Shamayim was what brought it to split. So this Kiddush Shem Shamayim of Yehuda v'Farhesia, that what Shimon Chasidah is actually coming and mentioning, is what we mentioned. Tanya, we learned in a Braita. Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov says, Yev Shalomar, right, Levi lemata. You cannot come and say that Shevet Levi was on the bottom of the mountain of Har Grizim and Har Eval when they were doing the brachot and the klalot. Shadek v'ne'eman lemala, but it was already said on the top, Elu yamdu levarech et ha'am Har Grizim, right? Which means Shimon Levi Yehuda. So if Levi is on top of the mountain, how's he on the bottom of the mountain? You have to decide, is he on the top or on the bottom, right? V'yev Shalomani, you can't say lemala, he's on the top of the mountain. Shadek v'ne'eman lemata, but it already says that he was on the bottom of the mountain, right? HaKeitzad, so what is this? Zikne kiuna levia lemata. The zikenim, yeah, with the full white beards, yeah, right. The zikenim of the Kohanim and Levim, they were on the bottom of the mountains. Ashar, but all the rest of the Kohanim and Levim, they were going to be lemala. They are going to be above, right? So he says, Rabbi Yoshia says, Kol haraui lesharet lemata ve'ashar lemala. Anybody that's fitting for Nesiat Aaron is lemata, is on the bottom. Ashar and everyone else is lemala, is going to be on top of Har Gerizim. Okay? Rabbi Omer. Rabbi comes and he says, yeah, Elu ve'elu. So Rabbi comes and he says, Elu ve'elu, whether it's going to be the Levim or other Shevatim, lemata en omdim. They're all going to be on the bottom. Yeah? What does that mean? Just like the pasuk in Yeshua. He wants to say that kilu, when it says al har grizim ve al har eval, it's not mamash on the mountain. Fine. Afchu penehem klape har grizim, upatchu bebracha. So what happened was they turned towards har grizim and they started with the brachot. Klape har eval, they turned to the other side. Upatchu beklala, and they started with the klala. My al, what does it mean? Al means besamuch, right? Close by. The Tanyas we learned in a Braita. Right? What does that mean? You're going to place on the marechet, which is on the lechem apanim, right? The levona zakah, the frankincense. Rabbi says al means bisamuch. Al means bisamuch. One second. When you say the word al, does al mean above, like on top of something, or does it mean beside something? As kishomer sak sakuta la'aron et parochet, it's written that you're going to put it on top. Haveomer al is also bisamuch, because you have to place the parochet samuch to the aron. So sometimes you see that the word al could mean al, and sometimes you see the word al could mean besamuch, close by it. Okay? Next, afchu b'neim klapei ha'grizim patchu b'bracha. Tanu b'nam learned on Braita. Baruch bichlal, baruch bifrat, arur bichlal, arur bifrat. Did you realize on every single one, on the brachot and the klalot and everything, there was like a klal and then a frat. So there was like, for example, baruch asher yakim divrei Torah zot. It's in general. But then you say, Asher lo yasef es mascha, is going to be specific. Then you say, Arur shel yakim divrei zot is a general. Arur asher es mascha is on the specific, meaning that it was a general specific, okay? Lamel lishmor limod ulamel lishmor lasot, right? Which means that we have to learn, to teach, to fulfill, to do. Harei arba. By the way, these are the four that we say in the Kriyat Shema in the morning, right? In the Berachot, right? Lilmod ulamel lishmor lasot kayem ekol divrei. So we come and say, so that's four. What does that mean? Right? 37b. So he says, Arba ve Arba. He comes and he says, 4 and 4 is going to be 8. Because you just had 4 different of the and then you had the 4 of the brachot and the klalot basically over there. So he says of the klals. So he says shmone. Shmone u shmone. Now when you come and you say there's going to be 8 and 8, because limol lamed, so Aresh said 16. So too, it's going to be all the mitzvot said in Sinai. The same halacha applies to Moav in Arvot Moav. Right? So therefore, it comes out that when it's written the brachot uklalot and hagrizim, it's mashma that the saying over of the mitzvot in Arvot Moav was also brachot and klalot. And so it comes out that there's going to be 48 britot al kol mitzvot. So there's 48 on every single one. Yeah, 1 second. So he comes and he says like this. He says, right? One more time. 1 second. Basically like this. We have one bracha klalit every time when you're mekayim the divrei Torah. Then you have a klala klalit if you're not mekayim the Torah. That's 2. You have a bracha pratit, right? That you're going to bracha pratit, a specific, not a general, and a klala pratit. That's already 4. Now we just said that you have 4, right, of lilmod ulamed lishmor v'lasot. So now, if you already have 4 of the britot, which is going to be bracha klalit, klala klalit, bracha pratit, klala pratit, then you have 4 for lilmod ulamed. So it's going to be shmone ushmone. Okay, shmone britot of lilmod and right and ulamed, and then you have also lishmor v'lasot. So it becomes now 16 because each one. Basically, you have 4 of the britot, which is the bracha klalit pratit, klala klalit pratit. That's 4. You've got now 4 times 4, basically, because you've got 4 in lilmod, 4 in the lamed, 4 in lishmor, and 4 in la'asot. So that's going to be 16. Correct or not? Then you have in Sinai, right? You also have, right, when every mitzvah to say was given, all of them were brachot to klalot. Again, the bracha klalit to pratit, and so you have again limod, lamed, shmor, lasot, and also in.
Why, like in Sinai?
So if you're 16 by har grizim and har eval, then you have also in Sinai the same thing, and then you also have Arvot Moav. Shneimar ele divrei brit. So it comes out that when you're talking about also by Sinai. And you're also talking about also by Har Eval and Har grizim, and you're also talking about arvot Moab. So it comes out that it's going to be 48.
This is Avot Moab, no?
No. Arvot Moab is Be'ever Erdem Beretz Moab, Ho'il Moshe Beret Torah Zot. So therefore it's going to be another 16. So therefore you're going to come. So it comes out that if every single one, whether it's going to be the bracha, the klala, and all these things, so it's going to be 4, which becomes 8. 8 becomes 16, because you have the lilmod lamel lishmom lasot, which is 4 times the other 4, right? Because on each one you have the bracha klali, bracha pratit, klala pratit. So it's basically like that. So then he comes and he says, and you did the exact same thing also by Har Sinai and also by Arvot Moab. So you have the 16, and 16 is 32 plus 16 is 48. So therefore it comes out. So Rabbi Shimon, he also agrees that it's 48, right? Which is the 3 different places. But what he just says is take out Har Grizim and Har Eval, and you bring in the Oil Moed of the Midbar. Okay? Makes sense? Ubeplukta Dani Tanai, and this is the machloket of these Tanaim. The Tanya is brought to the Braita. Rabbi Shmuel says, Klalot ne'emru b'Sinai upratot be'ol moed. He says the general rules were said by Har Sinai. The specifics were done by Ol Moed. So in the Har Sinai was all the klalim, without the prats. And in the Dibur of Hashem to Moshe Rabbeinu, right, by Ol Moed, that was the prats. Because no, Klalot upratu ne'emru b'Sinai. They were both said by Sinai. And Isu b'Ol Moed, and they were they were repeated. Chazara. Right, Vishinantam, right, doing Chazara Be'ol Moed. Then Ishtalshu, and they were said a 3rd time by Arvot Moab. Okay, when it says right, right. So therefore you have each one. Okay, fine. Nekuda. So it comes out, right? Velecha kol davar mitzvah mitzvah, right? Shektuva b'Torah shenechtu al mishmur britot. So it comes out that there was every single thing in the Torah. You have like 48 treaties said by it, because between all the lishmor la'asot kayem and each one of the right, bracha kalali, bracha pratit, and each one, and repeat it again and again. So it's like 48. Shimon and Yudah ish kvarako, Shimon says, "En lecha mitzvah shekatorat shenechot alea 48 britot shel 600,000 u3,550, which is 603,550. Kiminam Yisrael in the desert. Because besides the britot of every single person to be mekayim the mitzvot, every single person is arev on his brothers to be mekayim the mitzvah. Meaning you're an arev that every Jew should be mekayim the mitzvah. So there's an additional ki'ilu also of the 603,550. Okay? How many were? So Amar Rabbi comes and he says, the Divrei Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda ish kvar Akko, Shamar Mishum Rabbi Shimon. Right? Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda ish kvar Akko, that he says the name of Rabbi Shimon, אין לך כל מצווה שבתורה שנכתוב 48 בריתות 600,550, נמצא לכל אחד ואחד מישראל 600,000 ו3,550. So it comes out that every single Jew has 603,550. So says the Gemara, my benayu, they just said the exact same thing. What's the machloke between them? What is he adding on? Amar meshar shia arva ve'arva de'arva v'ika benayu. There's a machloke between the arev and the arev of an arev, which means that there's a machloket if every single Jew becomes an arev for his friend only to do shmirat chaverot mitzvot, or im naaseh arev gam ninyan revuto shel chaverot, which means like this. Well, yeah, meaning like this. Well, no, not this one goes twice. Meaning like this. I'm obligated that you do a mitzvah. So chazak guru. So I've got the 48. Once I was there, so I've got the 48, right? Then I'm obligated to you and you and you and every single. So I got 48 times the 603,550. So I'm the guarantor. But 1 second, am I also a guarantor that you also should be the guarantor?
Right.
So if I'm a guarantor, that you should be a guarantor, but not only you and you and you, but it's only once because it's on every single individual. So it's not like it's not like another 603,550 guarantors. It's a guarantor per person. So therefore, it's one level. That's why it's an arev of an arev. That's the question. Meaning that I'm a guarantor for you, but am I also a guarantor for you to be a guarantor to him and you to be a guarantor to him and him and him? That's the question. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's what he says. Darash of Yehuda bar Nachmani meturgamane der Shimon Lakish was the Yudoresh of Yehuda bar Nachmani by meturgamane av Rabbi Shimon Lakish. Kol parasha kula lo nemra ela benoef venoefet. He says the entire parasha was only mentioned to do with the noef and the noefet, which means all the brachot and all the klalot, and all these things, we're talking about Eshet Ish. Right? Why? Because it says in the Pasuk, Arura Ish Shel Yaseh Fesel Masecha. Cursed is a man that he's going to make, whether it's going to be Fesel Masecha, the Gomer. Right? What does that mean? If we're talking about now a Fesel Masecha Mamash, Barur Sagale. So therefore, we're talking about somebody that's going to be Kofer in Avodah Zarah, right? And he's doing Kofer in Hashem and doing Avodah Zarah. For sure, it's not enough just a klala. When a person comes, it's already says, he's making like abominations. He's making like Avodah Zarah. Somebody that has relations with a Eshet Ish, they'll lead Ben, and he has a mamzer. And then this child, since he's so embarrassed because he's a mamzer, he doesn't find the woman. So what does he do? He goes between the Avodah Zarah, right? And he starts doing Avodah Zarah. So cursed are his parents, and that's what they cause them to do. Meaning the fact that the parents caused a mamzer, because remember, the guy went and he cheated on a married woman, and therefore what happens is they had a mamzer, and that mamzer now goes between the goyim, because he can't get married to a regular Jewish woman. And remember, you can't hide it. That's something that you're not allowed to hide, right? There's curses on hiding these things. Right? And all these things, there's curses because at the end of the day, they're destroying the Am Yisrael. So somebody's going to come and he could think that he's cheating people, but the second that they find out, that's it. And he does generations of mamzerim. So what happens? The fact that he came and he caused such a thing, that's the arur of the parents, the curse of the parents. Look what they did. They went in there. We're not talking that they themselves served Avodah Zarah. The cause of the fact that their child served Avodah Zarah because he couldn't find the regular woman. That's where it starts from. Okay? Tan Rabbanam, we went to the Braita. And at the bracha lagizim et haklala harival. Mata Munu was coming to teach you. Im lelamed shata shete bracha lagizim. If it's just teaching you that the bracha is always going to be on hargizim and the klala is also always going to be on harival, it's already said. Elo yamdu lebrech et ha'am, right? Al hargizim. Uchtiv elo yamdu haklala harival. Ella leagdim bracha leklala. You always start with bracha, and then you start with klala. Meaning you always start with positive, and then you go to the negative. Never start with the negative. Always start with the positive, and then you go to the negative. So they're all like that? It says no. You do one bracha and then a klala. One bracha and a klala. You always want to do it also like a sandwich, meaning that even if you did do the klala afterwards, but you always want a bracha afterwards as well. Meaning you're always going to do like a sandwich. Just like the klala, it was said through the Levim, so to the bracha was said by the Levim. Just like the klala was said b'kol ram, so to the bracha is to be said b'kol ram. Just like the klala is said in Lashon HaKodesh, so to the bracha is to be said in Lashon HaKodesh. Uma klala b'chlal, just like the klala is going to be klal ufrat, a general and specialization specific, a bracha klal ufrat. Right? Uma klala elu ve'elu onim ve'omnim. Just like the klala, everybody answers amen. So to bracha elu ve'elu onim ve'omrim amen.
Everyone has to say amen to the klala.
Let's do now the Mishnah, Lamed Zayin Mubet, towards the bottom, last slide, Mishnah. Birkat Kohanim Ketzad. How was Birkat Kohanim said? So, Bamedina, which means outside of the Bet HaMikdash, Omer Ota Shalosh Berachot, which means that you're going to do 3 different psukim, Yivarecha, Yair, and Nisa. When the Kohanim, the Mafsikim, Atzibur, they answer amen. Right? That means they do Yivarecha, Shavish Verecha, amen. Yeshaveh, amen. Yisajah, amen. Okay. Ubamikdash, and the Bet HaMikdash, all 3 psukim are said like one bracha, which means you don't answer amen in between, right? Because there's no efsek, so there's nothing. All one. It's all one pasuk. Bamikdash, in the Bet HaMikdash, the Kohen used to say the name of Hashem, which is actually in Yivarecha Hashem. He actually used to mention the name of Hashem, right? Kichtavo, the way that it's written, right? Yeho, and the next word, the way that it's written, Kichtavo. Yeah. Right? Uva Medina, and the Medina, the Kinuyo, which is Ado, and then the 9. Right? That's another thing. A third. So one more time. In the Bet HaMikdash, you used to actually say the name of Hashem.
The way it's written.
The way it's written. How's it written? Yud Kei Vav Kei. Yeah.
This is why they answer Baruch Shem Kevod Makot.
Exactly. That's why they answer Baruch Shem Kevod Makot. Yeah. Next, but Medina. So there's 3 differences. First of all, one pasuk, or 3 psukim. One difference. Number 2, do they say the Shem Hashem the way that it's written or the way that it's read? Number 3, B'Medina, HaKohanim nosim et yedeihem keneged kitfeihem. Right? In the Medina, they have to put their hands opposite their shoulders. In the Bet HaMikdash, al gaber rashehen, on top of their heads.
Ah,
Top of
like
their
that.
heads. Yeah, it has to be higher up on the head, top of their heads. Yeah? It says over here, chutz mi kohen gadol, except for the kohen gadol. Because the kohen gadol is not allowed to be magbiya yadav l'mala min tzitz. Because since the tzitz is the head plate here. Since the tzitz has the shemem meforash, so he's not allowed to. So he's the only one that is not allowed to put his hands above the tzitz, on top of the shemem meforash. But other than that, everybody else, their hands on top of their heads. No, also kohen gadol. Minatzitz, also above. He picked up his hands to the nation and then he blessed it, and obviously we'll see in the Gemara what we're talking about.